Yo, black man power, black woman power, black child power. It's KLX, KingLeonX, UBVOA, episode 25 of This is Take Charge of Your Life. Take charge of your mind, take charge of your day, take charge of your mental attitude. Anyway, this episode 25 today, January 4th, 2017. Alright, and so this is real serious. Alright, and real imperative that we get this message out to the people. You see, last week we talked about writing out your plan for life in 7 steps, and then yesterday we was talking about clarifying your values. So if you missed last week's episodes and then you missed yesterday, I'm gonna just give y'all a quick recap. It's gonna take me 2 minutes to recap. You see, the 7 steps are writing out your plan for life. The first one was write down what you want, not just what you want in one particular area, but we got to understand that we're redefining abundance. We know that abundance is a holistic experience. You see, abundance is a holistic, well-balanced, organic type of experience. You see, so we write down what we want in our social life, economics, finance, career, legacy, social contribution. You see, we write down what we want in our family, write down what we want in all of these areas, right? And then you attach a date for the achievement of these things in all of those areas, right? And then the third thing you do is list the obstacles that you have to overcome to achieve that, right? I'm just recapping. So if you heard this before, it's because I told you it, all right? Or unless you studied it. But this is a recap before I go into today's message. So write down what you want, attach a date, identify the obstacles, right? When you list the obstacles, we already touched on it. I don't have to tell you about that. You can watch the old video. The fourth point was identifying the groups, people, and organizations necessary in order for you to work with to achieve that. The fourth thing was identifying the knowledge and skills required to achieve that. The sixth thing was organizing a plan of action and heading into that action. And the seventh thing was listing the whys, or the what's in it for you, right? The reason that you'll never give up and all these types of things. So that's where we was at last week with it. And then yesterday we was talking about personal strategic planning, right? Oh, excuse me. So yesterday we were talking about increasing. Most people will be thinking about a return of equity when they do something and stuff like that. But we're talking about when it comes to personal strategic planning, the return of energy rather than just the return on equity. You need to realize that the most essential and valuable thing that you have to bring to your life and your work is your ability to think, act, and to get results. Your earning ability, which is a function of your education, knowledge, and experience and talents, is your human capital. Your knowledge, experience, and talents is your human capital, which is your equity. And the way you develop your personal skills and use your earning ability will largely determine the quality and quantity of the rewards you receive, both material and psychological, both tangible and intangible. You see, so what we were talking about yesterday is the clarification of our values. You see, what values and virtues? See, this is a question you have to ask yourself. What values and virtues do I most identify with, or what values and virtues do I most admire? What values and virtues do I wish to practice in my life? You see, we see a lot of so-called leaders and all these types of things with their experiences. They get some type of pressure or something like that, and then their true colors show. You see, I would always tell youth this: if you squeeze an orange, right? You squeeze an orange. I take an orange. I squeeze an orange. What's gonna come out? Lemon juice? No, lemon juice isn't gonna come out of orange, right? No matter what. Right, when I squeeze the orange, what's gonna come out is orange juice. You know why? Because that's what's inside. When I squeeze the lemon juice is gonna come out. Because that's what's inside. When I squeeze the tangerine juice. I'm not gonna squeeze a grapefruit and tangerine juice come out, because it's not tangerine juice inside of a grapefruit. It's grapefruit juice inside. So check this out. When you put pressure on, likewise, when you put pressure on a person, when you put pressure on the leader, when pressure is put on yourselves, when you're squeezed, what comes out is what's in. You see, so your response and your reaction to these things, right, whether they be controllables or uncontrollables, what comes out is what's inside. You see, so if you have somebody coming for your character or coming at your neck and these types of things, and you respond wickedly, then that's what's inside. If you respond righteously, then that's what's inside. You see, all you have to do is squeeze a goddamn citrus fruit to know what's inside. You see, and what's inside will always come out. right? And so that's what we have to learn about ourselves. We have to learn about our character. When it comes to like our integrity. When it comes to our belief systems. What virtues and values do we most admire, and which are the ones that we're willing to put in the work and the effort to practice in our lives. You see, values such as integrity, quality, respect for others, service, profitability, innovation, entrepreneurship, market leadership, and so on. These things are all beneficial, but you must identify these values. See, I was reading this book. It's called Resolve by it's called Resolve. Hold up, I was just getting a call. Hold on. All right, so Ben Franklin was the first self-made millionaire in America, right? But prior in his early teens and his early 20s, everyone hated him. He was the type of person that if you see him come across the street, then you would go to the other side. You would go to the other side of the street. You feel me? That's the type of person that Ben Franklin was, and he realized that he couldn't win without the vote of the people. And then he realized that he didn't have the most attractive personality. And then he came up with 13 resolutions. 13 virtues or values to get clear on so therefore he can make integrity-based decisions. This is some type of like indigenous tea or something like that. It's crazy, but yeah. So there's dozens of values that you could pick from, but whichever you choose, in whatever order of priorities in which you place these things, this will determine your approach to your work. You see, so that was where we was at with it yesterday, and then I'm going to speak on the remainder of the conversation today with creating your personal mission statement. You see, this is action step plan 2, and this is another Leaders or Readers type of episode. So I'm gonna read directly from what Brian Tracy has written here, and then we're gonna discuss it. Your next step. So it says the first step is value clarification. You see, the next step is action plan step number 2 is to create your personal mission statement. Your next step is to create your personal mission statement. This is a clear written description of the person you intend to be in your work life. I've often found that this is even more important than setting specific financial or business or sales goals. Once you decided how much you want to earn, you need to write it out in a personal mission statement that describes the type of person you intend to become in order to earn that type of money. All right, so that's the first paragraph. Let me just park. Let me put some money in the meter and park right there. Okay. A clear written description. Man, wait. Who was here for? Let me see if I got my notebook. Hold on, y'all. Cause. Alright, we talking about a clear written description. You feel me, of our life. You see, these are the things that I've been doing and investigating, a while back. I've been doing this shit for some years. So when it comes to the personal mission statement, I wrote plenty of them. What's up, family? You about to be out, bro?
Yes, sir.
Yo, shout out. Hey, I'm doing my self-mastery motivation series, Take Charge of Your Life. What I'm telling people is the importance of what we're talking about today is the importance of creating a mission statement. We were talking about yesterday about identifying the values and virtues in which you want to live by, and that's going to help you make more integrity-based decisions, right? And so beyond just identifying the values, we were talking about getting clear about your personal mission and the importance of that. You got some words on that? Like, if you don't, what happens if someone's not clear about what they want, man?
Well, if a person is not clear what they want, then they're going to be all over the place. So with me having an organizer's mindset, I want to make sure everything is mapped out almost perfectly to the point to where I know that I can counteract if this happens right here.
Right.
So I'm prepared for failure, so to say.
Right.
So I can overcome that failure by my planning.
Right.
So that's how important organizing is to me.
Exactly. Yeah. See what he just said. It brought us back to last week's episode. We were talking about 7 steps to write out your plan for life. Step 3 was list the obstacles that you have to overcome. So that's what you're doing, preparing for that failure, because it's like when you know exactly where you're going, it's easier to figure out the shit that you have to do in the steps. So if you list all the so-called setbacks, the hiccups, the obstacles, the so-called failures, when we hit them, it becomes more of a fuel, because it's like a checklist. Like, yep, we already, that means we're on the right track. But if you don't identify where you're going, then any obstacle can stop you from going anywhere or moving, because you never clearly define that direction. Yeah. So you just said exactly what you feel me? What I was saying, last week. Because, bro, that's why I started this self-mastery series, is because, you feel me? More of you people watch it live, but then it just be getting shared and shared and shared all throughout the day. So I try and be consistent with the times that I do it every Monday through Friday. You feel me? Giving the people some life and some values and constructive concepts to get their brain going, their juices flowing, because it's like take charge of your life, like take charge of your day. We live in a world of cause and effect. There's nothing that's about to just pop up on us to solve all our issues. You feel me? We have to do the work internally. Right? Can you talk about some of the work that you've done internally to get you, towards a more constructive path in the direction?
Well, one thing I've worked on is the programming that I see within myself. The things that used to sway me to do certain things, I made sure that I keep myself in check. That's number one. You know what? That's number one. I check myself because I don't want nobody else checking me.
Personal accountability.
Yeah, straight up. So that's one of the things that I love about myself, is that I check myself. And I'm not afraid to unveil that whatever you want to call it, evilness, falsehood, lower vibration, all of that right there. To recognize that within myself, be willing to check that within myself, and stay consistent with checking myself.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And what's some of the benefits that you received ever since you started doing that? Ever since you started taking responsibility and accountability on your own thoughts and actions, and how those affect you and the world, what's some of the benefits of that you've been able to experience?
Just like we was talking about what I shared last night, one of the things is love on a broader scale. Walking in love, being love, acting love, not even thinking about it. It's just natural, just love. Love on a high scale, and then sharing that love. So it's like the give and take. I'm giving love, and it comes right back. So that's one of the things that I hold dear, is because just love, man. People are scared to love, they're afraid to love.
Right.
And love is one of the basis of the way we operate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if we operate outside of love, then that's gonna cause confusion, and a lot of other things gonna happen.
Yeah.
So with checking myself, I had to recognize that it was some things about myself that I was afraid of, not to love, not willing to trust. I had to let go all of that. So I love I love on a different scale now.
Yeah. And see that, and that I believe in what you just said, because that's some great content. It almost is directly related to that self-love, that love that people experience, and that I feel from you, is almost the overflow of your self-love. You see, because I believe that we can't even love another or even accept the love from another only to the extent in which we love ourselves. You see, so if we have a limited self-love, then we can only accept but so much love, and we can't tell the sincerity of a person. You feel me? And how genuine they are, because we're still, not even loving ourselves fully. So let's talk about self-love real quick. You know what I mean? And how that allowed you to even be able to project. You feel me? That type of high vibrating energy that brings it back to you. Can you talk about that real quick? Like self-love and some things that you did, and that you had to overcome in order to, be able to look in the mirror and be like, yo, I love you, bro. No matter what, no matter how hard it is, no matter how bad it gets, I'm gonna make it. You feel me? So what was some of the things that you did, bro?
I'm gonna tell you about one of the things that used to irk me when I was young, man. People used to clown me about my big lips. I didn't like that about myself. You see what I'm saying? I felt that was a disgrace to myself and to my people. But that was just a lack of knowledge, not enough information to know, that is a great attribute of me.
Right.
I would our people, you know what I'm saying, our lineage. So it's like to get to the point to where
no, keep going. That was just a timer at 15 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be our last point.
So regardless to, you know, what I have on my outer exterior, I love myself. So that allowed me to propel that, you know, out and give that out. You know what I'm saying? Because when it got to the point to where it's like you said, now regardless, I love myself. Right. I don't care if you don't like me or love me, regardless.
Right.
So when I walk in that way, that's what's gonna be felt within my presence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because regardless of how you feel about me, I love myself. So that means that I'm not dimming my light, I'm turning it up. I'm allowing it to shine because that's a part of the light.
Have you ever dimmed your light in a group to make others, because their light's not as bright, to make them not feel as threatened or to not make them uncomfortable? You kind of dim your light down, and then only to realize that they needed your light. You feel me? And now you over here playing like we don't got the power. You feel me? To make them feel like it's okay to not have the power. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But sometimes they need to experience people like us and the conviction in which you speak. Right? Because that ignites them, recognize something in them. It's like, damn, you know, that touched me. Like, and through our self-love, like when people hear certain things, like we said, with our image and shit that we didn't like about ourselves, and then now that we wholly accept and just love and almost look at it as a key attribute, you feel me, a feature of us. You see, and it's like that transition is the most precious, because it's like that's what turns us from a sinner to a saint, basically. You feel me? From poverty to black power. You feel me? From a wandering generality to a meaningful specific. Because the reason that our self-love has increased and go back full circle is because we decided who we wanted to be. We decided the type of person and the type of experiences that we want to have. And then by judging that type of person, in order to have these type of experiences, you got to be this type of person. And this, you know, is self-doubt ain't a quality of that type of person.
Straight up.
You feel me? Self-hate ain't a quality of the type of person that we intend to become. You see, so we have to rid those immediately. Just like if we were gardeners and we had to goddamn, it's like you gotta hate the weeds enough to kill them. You can't just be like, oh, poor weeds. You feel me? Because they're coming after your garden. You see, so we gotta love and hate evil. You see, because it's that balance. Because recognizing that those wickedness parts of ourselves, you know, and those low vibrating things that you see. It's like, since they're there, then they must be necessary. So we must learn how to use them in a proper channel. You see, because
my mom, bro.
all right, well, yeah, bro. You feel me? Tell the people how they can connect with you, bro.
Through allrealradio.com. My name is Swain Smith, but I'm here, and you can get in contact with me. If I'm not here, one of the family members will be here and let you know where I'm at.
All right.
Peace and blessings, family.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. So we gonna end it like that. You feel me? Remember, the only limitations you have is the one you set up in your own mind, or you allow others to set up for you. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. You feel me? Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for security. Wish for adventure. You see, don't wish for less challenge. Wish for more wisdom to deal with the challenge. More wisdom to overcome the challenge. More wisdom to be more prepared for the next challenge. You see, profit from adversity, family. Africa on my back. You see, I got y'all. Whole continent on my back. Stay grateful.